single mother getting a rude awakening about Obamacare. Very rude. Jessica Sanford thought she was getting a tax credit and an affordable insurance plan. She was so happy that she wrote President Obama a fan letter, and the president even giving Sanford a shout-out from the Rose Garden.
I recently received a letter from a woman named Jessica Sanford in Washington State. Here's what she wrote. I am a single mom, no child support, self-employed, and I haven't had insurance for 15 years because it's too expensive. My son has ADHD and requires regular doctor visits, and his meds alone cost $250 per month. I've had an ongoing tendonitis problem due to my line of work that I haven't had treated. Now, finally, we get to have coverage because of the ACA for $169 per month. I was crying the other day when I signed up. So much stress lifted. Now that is not untypical for a lot of folks like Jessica who have been struggling without health insurance.
Yeah, usually it's a lot more.
The Care Act is all about.
And now the bad news. Turns out the Washington State Health Exchange made a big mistake. Washington State Wire reporter Eric Smith is here with the rest of Jessica Sanford's story. Good evening, Eric, and tell me, what is the rest of the story? Did something happen to that great deal insurance for her?
Within just a few days of that speech in the Rose Garden in front of the White House, Jessica Sanford started to get a terrible surprise. What happened was that the Washington State Health Exchange made a terrible mistake in its calculations. Everybody who signed up for a health insurance policy and purchased it with government subsidies during the first 23 days of operation of the website, the figures were all wrong. But that was just the start. Not too long ago, just last week, she got another letter from the State Health Care Authority saying that she doesn't qualify for any subsidy whatsoever. And what that means is that suddenly she can't afford health coverage. She's going to have to go without.
So she's going to pay that $95 of tax, is that right?
She says that she has no choice. The trouble is that the insurance policies that are available under Obamacare, when you don't have the tax credit, they're simply too expensive. The best that she'd be able to get is a bronze plan. The deductibles are so high that she simply wouldn't be able to afford the health insurance. So, in some respects, it's a Washington State problem with problems that they've got on the website, but also it raises the question, how affordable is the Affordable Health Care Act in the first place?
And besides the original mistake on the website, this is a state-created exchange, right, not a federal. So, believe me, I'm willing to blame the federal exchange when appropriate, but this is something that, besides the problem with the program, the misunderstanding was originally the Washington State exchange, but that's separate from the issue is that it's not affordable for her once she actually got through all the exchange issues, right?
That's right. And Washington is one of the 14 states across the country that did develop its own exchange. So it's a little bit separate from the federal troubles in that respect. But also we do have that big overarching national issue too.
How does she feel about all this?
She is terribly embarrassed. Just think. Your name is used by the president on national television. You're held up as an example of somebody that the Affordable Care Act is going to help. And suddenly, the rug is yanked out from underneath you. She says that while that was one of the most proudest moments of her entire life, right now, she kind of feels like crawling underneath a rock.
Hey, Tom, what's the date?